Okay, we're doing simple body measurements today. And this is what you do. Sometimes you're going to need a little help to take the body measurements, but we're going to do just simple basic measurements. You take your and you stand straight. First of all, you wear close fitting clothes, as close fitting as possible, similar to a bodysuit or even a bikini or just plain nude. And you take your tape, standing straight, and you measure your bust around the fullest portion of your breast. Pull it tautly, but don't squeeze. Usually with a finger length underneath. The tape. Like so. Next, and you write that down. Next, we're going to do the waist. And to get your waist area, just bend over, and that crease that you create from the side will give you your waist. And you take that measurement, pulling it taut with that finger underneath, and measure. And the hip is usually 9 inches below the waist. Mine is 7. And again, pulling your tape taut with that finger underneath. Got to get that back part in. If your back, you have a protruding back area, take your time and measure. And there are other areas you can measure on your body. You can do your crotch area, your legs apart, and measure. Like so. You can measure your thighs, all parts of your body. But for this video, we're keeping it simple. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So it's the bust, the fullest portion of your bust, your waist, that crease that you create when you bend over, and your hip area. And include that back protruding piece as well. What I like to do, I like to measure, when I measure my bust area, I also do the upper arm, which you place it right in the crease of your arm and you measure that. The upper bust, if you have full bust, that's a good idea to do too. So, let's move on. This is what I had just demonstrated, the bust, waist, and the hip. And it's in this book by Nancy Zieman. It's according to your height. Like I said, the hip line is 9 inches, but mine is 7 because I've already measured it. Here is a look, a closer look, or a demonstration of measuring the bust. Here is the hip, and I told you to lean over and get that crease. That's how, I'm sorry, the waist. How you get your measurement for your waist. And here are a few others. The hip length, the back width, the sleeve. Like I said, there are many measurements you can do on your body to make your garment fit as perfectly as possible, made just for you. We need to take these measurements to make sure that the garment is going to fit us as perfectly as, fit our body as perfectly as possible. If you ever look at a pattern, they only give you body measurements for your bust, waist, and hips. And they say a hip is 9 inches below the waist. And there are many other measurements you can do to make that garment fit as perfect as possible. And then they give you the finished garment measurements, which is what the garment is actually going to be, the size the garment is actually going to be when you complete it. So that's why it's very important to take your body measurements and write them down and refer to them when you're picking out a pattern, or when you deciding on which view or size, the size you're gonna wear or make in that garment. So I hope this has been helpful. Body measurements, so you can move further on in your journey and picking out a pattern and learning how to read the back of the pattern, the important information. It goes hand in hand with choosing which size you're gonna sew. The sizes that's on the patterns are not the same sizes as in a commercial store. You need to take your body measurements and go from there. Thanks for watching. See you next Saturday. Bye.